Superman and Lois Season 4, Episode 7 brings perhaps the biggest plot twist in the entire DC show to the table, which is an impressive feat from the season that had already killed and revived Superman and gave Jonathan superpowers. Superman and Lois Season 4, Episode 6 left off with Lex Luthor doubling down on his rivalry with the Kent family, making it all the more surprising the villain doesn't appear in the follow-up episode. However, Lex still affects the plot in a major way, leading to a colossal moment for the live-action Superman show and the Man of Steel's cinematic legacy. True to form, though, the CW series manages to balance its big scenes around plenty of other narratives. Episode 7 even provides some flashback scenes that shed more light on Clark and Lois' time in Metropolis, including introducing the show's iteration of Jimmy Olsen as an addition to the Superman and Lois Season 4 cast, after years of it seeming as though the character could well never appear in the show directly. Helpfully, this means there are plenty of exciting smaller developments alongside its big twist, ensuring a sense of stability for the series as it goes forward. Superman and Lois Season 4, Episode 7 deals with the aftermath of the previous few episodes by going into detail about how even more people suspect Clark Kent is Superman, and that his sons also have powers. This is something that's shown to have a complicated impact on the family, via scenarios like previous Smallville Crows quarterback Timmy Ryan blaming the brother's powers for his issues on the field and him subsequently taking drugs to try and enhance his game. However, this doesn't quite compare to one later issue that stems from people learning Clark Kent is Superman, as Emmett Purgand, the father of Jonathan's girlfriend Candace, returns to Smallville equipped with this information courtesy of Lex Luthor and determined to make Clark pay for their previous altercation in Season 3. Heading to the Smallville diner, Emmett attempts to publicly get Clark to reveal his secret identity, and when he doesn't, decides to shoot him to prove a point. This leaves Clark in a difficult scenario, and one where attempting to just be Clark Kent risks putting other people in danger from a clearly unstable person who is seemingly willing to do almost anything to spite him. As such, Superman reveals his costume and secret identity in the diner, deflecting the bullet off of him and apologizing to those in the diner for keeping his secret for so long. However, the people in the Smallville diner are by no means the only people who learn Superman's secret identity in this episode. After the diner incident, Clark talks with his family about revealing Superman's civilian identity to the world, stating that he believes it's causing more complications than it prevents. Similarly, although Clark has been keeping the secret his whole life, his death makes it almost impossible for the people of Smallville to not suspect he's Superman, and the secret likely isn't going to stay contained in Smallville given its nature. With Jonathan and Jordan also having talked about not wanting to lie to others about their powers, the Kents make the decision that Superman will go public as being Clark Kent. To ensure this becomes public information, Clark agrees to an interview with the Daily Planet, where he goes on screen without the Superman costume and talks about his hero career and why he chose to keep his secret identity for all these years. The interview appears to be a success, but this is a move with some colossal implications for the series and all the characters in it, and the full ramifications of the decision are sure to become clear over the show's final 3 episodes. While Lex's main scheme in the episode is revealed to be that he told Candace's father about Superman's secret identity, no doubt knowing he'd hunt Clark down and likely force him to reveal his hero double life in order to protect the Smallville civilians around him. The villain also almost manages to get away with another major trick in this chapter of the story as well. With Chrissy Beppo and Kyle Cushing looking at getting a new house for when their baby is born, Chrissy considers trying to sell her part of the ownership of the Smallville Gazette in order to be able to afford their dream home. Mercifully, Chrissy's journalism experience appears to allow her to work out that the company offering her a deal is actually a shell corporation Lex Luthor is using to hide the fact he's trying to once again barge in on Lois and Clark's lives and sabotage them yet again. While this looks for some time as though it means Chrissy and Kyle won't be able to get the house they'd set their hearts on, Lois and Clark, I'm through for them, recognizing that their sacrifice has prevented Lex from getting another foothold against them by offering to buy Chrissy's Smallville Gazette ownership with money left to them by Sam Lane. Superman and Lois Season 4, Episode 7 features a series of flashbacks to Clark and Lois' days working at the Daily Planet in Metropolis. These sequences specifically focus on Clark's friendship with the show's version of Jimmy Olsen, and how it's ruined by Clark having to hide the fact he's Superman from Jimmy, which requires him to convince the other reporter that he's simply been avoiding their baseball games, rather than often being late because he was busy with superhero work. It's a sad story that shows Clark's sacrifice as well, even if it's notably miserable to see one of Superman's oldest friendships be undermined by his previous need to make sure his secret identity remains secret. Mercifully, the sad aspects of this story are balanced out by Clark's reunion with Jimmy after his interview with the Daily Planet revealing his secret identity, as he's able to explain everything to Olsen, allowing the duo to finally get to genuinely connect after all these years. All in all, Superman and Lois Season 4, Episode 7 manages to largely be a more lighthearted chapter of the story despite the colossal implications it has for the final episodes of the show, with Lex Luthor still looking to try and take down the Kent family, and their biggest secret now a major piece of public knowledge. How the series will follow on this episode is sure to be fascinating, making the last releases of the show all the more interesting because of the big events that have taken place.